Welcome to the Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites. The purpose of this is to allow you to understand what is going on in comic books today, so that you can then potentially go buy the next issue, or at least have a base understanding as to what is happening in current comic books. Now, today we're going to be covering the Titans comic, which I believe off the top of my head is issues 25 and 26. When we last left off with the Titans, they had formed up a new group. Nightwing had decided that he needed to go out there and stop the emergent threats. You see, when the Justice League broke the Source Wall, all kinds of new metahumans were created on the planet Earth, and Nightwing decided that the Titans would be the team to try and stop these. But the Justice League didn't trust him. They gave him Miss Martian as a liaison. On top of all of that, the first big event that this new group of Titans had to fight against, they ended up going into another universe, and it looks like a piece of Raven may have been left behind, as she's not quite herself. It's time to get into the story. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice in Washington, D.C., Steele mentions that she might have an idea as to why these last few cases have been getting bigger. It's just a hunch, but based on the data from their first few missions, the cosmic debris hitting their planet is causing all sorts of crazy stuff. In all cases so far, the emotional state of the subject correlates to the intensity of the threat level. The more agitated and scared they are, the more violent and uncontrolled the power outburst. Raven, who is with the group in the Hall of Justice, because there are currently actually two Ravens, one trapped in that world created by the writer and one with the team, asks if the Source Wall energy has had any effect on inanimate objects. And Steele says that research suggests only organic things. Source Wall energy responds to external stimuli. Beast Boy then asks, "So have you shared this with Nightwing and Miss Martian yet?" And Steele tells him that yes, she has. Beast Boy then looks back at the two walking in arguing about something and asks, why are they still going at it 5 minutes later? Nightwing then shouts that they do not need a babysitter, and Miss Martian shouts, liaison! Before the two of them can continue, the alarm goes off, and the computer reports that there is an emergent event being detected. Steele runs over to the computer and says that it looks like they have 3 simultaneous events in progress right now. A Class 6 downtown, a Class 3 in Anacostia, and a Class 1 in Bethesda. Nightwing says, alright, we're gonna divide up and handle them all at once. Raven, Beast Boy, and Steele, you'll take the downtown Class 6. Donna can handle the Class 1 in Bethesda, while Miss Martian and myself go to Anacostia. As Miss Martian flies over to their location with Nightwing, she tells him, all things considered, he might be right. If he's the representative example, clearly she does not understand humans. Meanwhile, downtown, Raven and the others arrive at the giant robot, and Steele says that she doesn't get it. She mapped the mechanoid and says that this is the source of the energy, but there's no organic part. How is the Source Wall activating this? Raven says, don't worry, she's got this, and she begins to focus on trying to locate the organic tether. The robot starts to storm the streets towards them, and Beast Boy then asks if she's got this because she doesn't look like she has this, and if she does, now would be a good time to stop the giant robot. But Raven tells him that nothing is happening. She's got a problem. Beast Boy yells, we all have a problem if we don't move. And the robot smashes through where the 3 of them are, with Raven stating, she's not sure what's happening, but she can't control her magic. Steele grabs her hammer, shouting, if she can't do anything, then get clear. Meanwhile, back at Anacostia, Miss Martian leads Nightwing into the apartment building where the source energy is the strongest. And when they open up the door, they find a woman watching TV. The woman doesn't even look back from her recliner, asking if they're here to fix her cable. About time! My stories are about to come up. Miss Martian asks, do we look like we're here to fix your cable? Nightwing starts to look around, asking, we should probably move this woman. And the woman begins to flip through the channels as everything begins to melt and change around him. The scene changes to an old Prohibition bar, and Miss Martian pulls Nightwing close, asking, what's a nice superhero like you doing in a dive like this? Nightwing asks her, what the? And Miss Martian says, let's go. I mean, I don't know. Something made me say that. Why would I say those words? Nightwing looks around and says, uh-oh. And back in the woman's apartment, she's now watching Nightwing and Miss Martian on the TV, and she clearly says, these aren't my stories. Back over in Bethesda, the mind link and comms start to go down as Miss Martian has now been pulled into the TV, and she's the one that keeps the Titans linked together through a mind link. Donna arrives at her target location stating all right. They probably can't hear her now, but she's going in. She begins to look around the door of an old warehouse. She sees several men in red and gold masks asking them, what is this? One of the men spot her, stating that they have visitors, brothers. Bleed her. Back downtown, Steele gets to work breaking down the robot and asks, could I get a little help here? Beast Boy looks at Raven asking her, what do you mean your powers aren't working? She says, It means just that. They're gone, and I don't know why. I have some residual magic, basic things, but when I try to draw on my core powers, my soul self, that's it! My soul self is missing! My soul is missing! Steel calls out that she doesn't really know what the hell they're doing here. She's just gonna try and do it herself, and then she smashes through the robot's core, destroying it from the inside. She flies down asking what exactly is the problem here, and Beast Boy says that Raven's soul self is gone. Steel asks her, what? And Raven explains that it is her spirit, the projection of everything that she is, and it's gone. She can't explain it, but she can feel some subtle dark magic at play. Ever since the Golden Gate Park, she's had a feeling of unease, but it's only now, when she tried to use. Beast Boy scratches his head stating he's pretty sure the mind link is dead, and Steel gets ready to scan Raven, and she says, great, because I'm starting to think our original problem isn't. Soon, all of the bits of the robot begin to pile back together in Beast Boy's size, stating, yeah, it's rebuilding itself. Back in the TV world, the bartender asks, what'll it be, Rick? And Nightwing yells, answers. It's what I want, Joe. Out of all the jazz lounges in the world, we wind up in this. And the Nightwing stops himself, shouting, why am I talking like this? It's like I'm being forced to play a role. Miss Martian tells him that they need to calm down. It's looked like they've been transplanted into the televisual quasi-reality. Their identities are being fused with that of the characters that they have intersected with. The longer that they stay here, the more that they will be consumed by the genre. What's more, her mind link is gone. She has no powers here, which she's sure validates his point that she's a worthless addition to the Titans. Just then, the doors are kicked in and the cops run in shouting, this establishment is subject to an official raid. And Miss Martian yells, Rick, cheese it, it's the law. Nightwing grabs his gun, firing at the pursuers, yelling, tarnation! And Miss Martian tells them that they need to control themselves. None of this is real. The woman sighs, changing the channel, yelling, I just want to watch my stories. Back with Donna, she runs in swinging at the men, and as she knocks one of them down, another says, the brothers of blood will silence the heathen. So Donna cracks the man with her shield, stating, wait, blood? So your brother Blood's crazies? Another shouts that they know that the demon spawn Robin and his Teen Titans will not thwart them again. And Donna asks, you think I'm with the Teen Titans? The man yells, a new age is dawning, an age of change, and then strikes the ground with his sword. Donna begins to feel a rumble and the ground beneath her gives way and she falls into a pit. The man standing on top tells everyone to gather the materials that they came for. They're going to rig the device for overload. The source energy charge makes it too dangerous to remove, but its destruction will wipe out any trace that they were there. Donna begins to pick herself up after the fall, and a young, dark-skinned man asks if she's okay. He thought that she was one of them for a second. She asks who is he, and the man helps her up, stating that he is Ben Rubel, investigative journalist. He sort of lives here now. Look, he's technically squatting, but his power cells are all solar and he has no place to go, so please don't call the cops. Donna tells them to just stop. How about they try this? What did those goons up there think that you were doing? Ben asks, the guy in the masks? I'm not sure. They just came into my lab stating something about blood or whatever, so I hid from them. They may have been after my research, though. I kind of found something. I was working on a story when I discovered an atypical energy bombarding... Wait, are you Wonder Woman? And Donna says, yes. Yes, I am. Believe it or not, I actually believe you. So hang on. Donna grabs Ben and jumps out of the hole back to the first floor and says that this machine, what is it? Ben goes on telling her that he rigged a way to collect the atypical energy and store it. It's just thrown together, though. He's no quantum engineer. Oh, God. What have they done to it? In its current state, it can alter things like time and space. This is not good at all. Donna says, well, the Blood Cult knows about emergent events, and this energy, they call it source energy. The Blood Cult want it for their own purposes, but right now, we need to figure out a way to stop this thing from exploding. Back in TV land, Miss Martian says that she thinks she knows what his problem is, and Nightwing asks, I have a problem? Miss Martian says that he has a trust issue. Batman treated the previous incarnation of Titans with disdain. They all have secrets. But here he is, struggling as a brave, ordinary man in a world full of gods. Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all incredible things, and then there's him, mortal. He fights just to keep up, or else he would sink. She's also a being unlike him, and she threatens the control that he has over the team that he made. She herself is an alien, and that reminds him too much of his own humanity, his own frailty in this world of superhumans. He asserts control because he feels constantly that he has everything to prove. Also, who's Corey? Nightwing stares, asking, what? And Miss Martian says, she's been in your mind a lot, but never mind that. The point is, I have everything to prove just like you. And I have to prove that I'm worthy of Jean's trust. I have to prove that I'm a valuable ally to the Titans. Nightwing says that it's a full-time job just staying afloat, and he hasn't made it easy for her. Miss Martian smiles, telling him, no, you haven't. But I am also new at this work, and I value your wealth of experience. The two begin to lean in close. They begin to kiss. And Miss Martian says that she can feel her identity slipping away, and Nightwing says, we just need to be here, sweetheart. Our pals are working on a fix. Back over in Bethesda, Donna says that she's not sure if this is going to work. She's going to need to do something drastic, and she reaches in, grabbing the core of the device, and she begins to rip it out. And just as it gives way, there's a loud thoom. Suddenly, the robot downtown falls to pieces, and Nightwing and Miss Martian are thrown out of the TV world. Donna stares at the glowing disc, stating, "Well, Ben, you can open your eyes." Nightwing and Miss Martian get ready to head back, and Miss Martian says that she's glad that Steele's theory was correct. They survived because they stopped arguing and reached an understanding. Nightwing tells her that he would say it was less of an argument and more of him protecting his hang-ups. He's really sorry. Miss Martian shakes her head, stating that she's looking forward to understanding him in further ways, and vice versa. The two begin to walk, and Nightwing says that are they going to tell anyone what happened to the TV land? And she says, oh no, absolutely not. As the mind link comes back online, Donna reports about what happened, and she also says that they may have a problem. It looks like the blood cult is active again. They mentioned Damien. Looks like his crew may have put a crimp in their plans. I'm going to explain more when we get back to the Hall of Justice. Elsewhere, the group of men at the warehouse hold up a stack of Ben's research, stating that they have learned that these papers show ways to manipulate and control alien energies. They're going to use it to make instruments that they desire, to imbue objects with its great power, to forge weapons that they will use to shatter continents. But the Titans, they have reassembled. Blood Mother turns back, stating, then the Titans must become extinct. Later, at the Hall of Justice, the emergent alert rings throughout the halls as Donna takes another drink from a bottle. She wipes her mouth, stating, fine, fine, and walks out into the boom room, asking where they're going this time. A second later, it appears in a snowy village of Norway. Just as the team steps out of the mobile command room, a member of the Blood Cult radios to Mother Blood that they have taken the bait. Nightwing looks around, stating that this town has a population of 912, or at least it had. Miss Martian says that his use of the past tense is accurate. There are zero signs of life here. There is the most visceral air of menace, though. As the mind link is brought back online, Nightwing asks Raven how things are looking, and she tells him exceptionally high levels of residual source energy appearing throughout the town. Higher than any emergent event that they've handled before. That and an increasing sense of impending hostility. Though with her soul missing, she might be reading her own worries. Nightwing says that that's why they have her fly in the desk today. As Steele gets ready to work, Ben yells, "Whoa! I can hear everyone thinking." And Steele tells him that that's the mind link. He'll get used to it. And Ben then asks, am I a Titan now? She corrects him, stating that he's a civilian technical advisor. Bringing him along is already a risk. Raven steps down for the computer, asking what is that device that they're working on, and Ben says it's the Rupal capacitor. And Steele says, Irons capacitor. Ben then yells, the Rupal Irons capacitor. It was built to soak up and store source energy, but it can also depower an emergent event and return everything to normal. Raven then asks, does it even work? And Ben laughs, telling her, of course! Well, we're pretty sure it does, theoretically. Steele then asks Nightwing if he's ready to give this thing a try. And he tells her that whenever she's ready, they're not seeing anything out there. But across the way, the Blood Cultist radio goes off, and Mother Blood tells him to spring the trap. Just then, the blood creatures begin to rise out of the ground surrounding the team. And without any warning, the creatures begin to attack, with Miss Martian quickly taking to the air, telling everyone that she will. But as she blasts through the body of one of them, the creature then punches her across the field and into the building. Nightwing shouts to the others that they are hostiles, and Steele chromes up and jets outside. Ben tells Raven that he can see them all like they're right in front of him, and Raven tells him that he needs to calm down. His agitation will pollute the mind link. Think about something else, like, is the capacitor working? He looks back and tells her, actually, yes, perfectly. It's already up to 18% capacity, and oh god, those things, they're killing them! Back outside, Nightwing runs over to Beast Boy after having his arm cut, asking if he's okay. Beast Boy is huffing, stating that he can't concentrate. And then he smacks Nightwing away in a fit of rage. He then charges into the center of the creature, slashing and clawing away at anything that moves. Donna shouts that they need to contain Beast Boy before he gets himself killed. And Steele says that she'll be there in 3, 2, but as she counts down to 1, she flies through swinging, taking out a group of blood monsters before stopping in front of Beast Boy. Beast Boy snarls at her, and Steele tells him that she's sorry for this and hits him with a blast, temporarily knocking him out. As the creatures begin to reform, Nightwing tells Donna that they need to start fighting their way through towards the boom room. And Donna then asks, where's Miss Martian? Nightwing is calling for Miss Martian over the mind link, and over in the building that Miss Martian was thrown into, she begins to get back up. She asks herself what could have harmed her like this. The menace that she felt on arrival, it's so real. Anger, malice, all in the very air that they breathe. She can't let it in. She won't let it in. Don't let it tear away her mask. Before she can finish her sentence, Miss Martian begins to change from green to white, clawing out into the air, roaring. Back in the fight, Donna asks what was that scream. It was in the mind link. And Nightwing says that he's not sure, but the mind link just went down. As the creature starts surrounding the two of them, Steel sweeps back, firing into the crowds, clearing a path for them. They make their way to the building where Miss Martian landed, and they run in calling for her. And Miss Martian tells them that there is a dark energy at play, a signal, like airborne rage, bloodlust. It's generating those creatures. Nightwing then says, wait, they aren't emergent threats? And Miss Martian tells him that someone is using the source energy to construct these blood monsters. The signal is just a means to activate it. Donna then asks, what are they trying to do? Miss Martian says, they're trying to kill the Titans. Just then, a group of creatures break through the walls and they begin to surround the three of them. Back in the boom room, Ben shouts that he doesn't understand. They're sucking up the energy and the emergent event should be dying down. We should be weakening it. He looks back at the computer and says that he can see something out there, like a program, a code being broadcasted. Steel asks, could it be a set of directions? Maybe dictating form for these things? Could it be going along the lines of what Miss Martian mentioned? Ben says, yes, someone or something is using the source energy here and weaponizing it into a formed design to murder them. Steel tells him, okay, then they need to use the capacitor to drain the power and shut it down. Since it's not working, reverse it. Discharge the capacitor. As the creatures start to take over the Titans, Nightwing yells, whatever they're going to do it fast. So Ben hits the discharge button and a pulse of energy rips through the area, obliterating the creatures. Once the effects die down, Steel looks around and sees what everything actually was. And she says, oh no, those creatures, they were people. They were dead before we even got here. Donna looks down at one of the men stating that these markings, they were sacrificed. These are ritual knife wounds. It was a trap set up for the Titans. Elsewhere, Mother Blood smiles, stating next time they will succeed. Later, at the Hall of Justice, Steel and Ben get to work creating a larger capacity capacitor. And Miss Martian walks in asking if he's still here. After today's trauma, she half expected him to run into the hills. He says that he thought he might stay a while. What they're doing here is important, assuming that they can still use a civilian technical advisor. He's more than a little out of his depths. It was all scary for sure, but it's just a lot to take in. That mind link was super freaky. Miss Martian tells him that he'll adjust. And then he says, speaking of, that scream, I heard it. Miss Martian says everyone heard it. And he says, yeah, but he saw it. And don't worry, he won't tell anyone what she really is. And there you have it, the current storyline in Titans. Now, we're already going to be bringing you the next video very, very soon, as it ties into the Death of Nightwing storyline that we just did with Batman. It's going to be their reaction to what happened in Heroes in Crisis and what happened in Batman, and how the Titans are going to be coping with that. So if you want to know what's going on with the Titans, make sure you subscribe to our channel, as we try to bring you almost daily content right here at Comicstorian, explaining everything from your favorite comic books, to your favorite TV shows, to the movie universe, and even video games at times. We're kind of calling ourselves the lore masters here, telling you all of the cool storylines that go on. And if you want to talk to us directly, consider joining us over at twitch.tv/eligible-monster, where every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, me and the team bring you behind-the-scenes looks at what is going on here at Comicstorian, and then possibly play some games with you like Warframe. Hope to see you there. Hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like this video if you did like it.